Hey, Yankees fans! Today we are diving deep into everything happening with the Bronx Bombers. And trust me, there's a ton to unpack. The offseason has been nothing short of thrilling, with moves and strategies that could shape the upcoming season in ways nobody expected. Let's start by talking about one of the biggest headlines of the winter, and that's the front office's decision to lock in Trent Giesam on that one-year deal for $22 million. At first glance, many questioned whether that was a steep price for a player who had been seen as more of a depth piece than a core contributor. But now, looking back at how things have unfolded, it seems that Brian Cashman and his team may have executed one of the smartest moves of the offseason. Trent Giesham's rise last season has been remarkable. After accepting the qualifying offer, he didn't just meet expectations, he absolutely exceeded them. In 2025, he posted 34 home runs and maintained an on-base plus slugging percentage of .811, transforming himself into the Yankees' regular leadoff hitter. That kind of performance is exactly why the front office was willing to invest in him. Cashman himself has indicated that, given the free agent market's wild fluctuations, Giesham's one-year deal now looks like an absolute bargain. If Giesam had tested free agency, he likely would have landed a multi-year contract far exceeding the qualifying offer, making the Yankees' decision to keep him on board incredibly shrewd. Of course, locking in Giesam was not just about one player. It was part of a broader strategy to preserve the team's core while making room for major moves elsewhere. The most notable of these was the re-signing of Cody Bellinger, who agreed to a massive 5-year deal worth $162,500,000. Pairing Bellinger with Giesam and the captain, Aaron Judge, gives the Yankees one of the most formidable outfields in the league. Opposing pitchers now face a trio capable of changing the outcome of a game at any moment. Yet, with so much talent concentrated in the outfield, this inevitably creates a crowded roster, particularly affecting the younger players who were once considered the next big stars. Jason Dominguez, for instance, finds himself in a particularly challenging position. Projected as the fourth outfielder, his future in pinstripes is suddenly less certain. With Giesam, Bellinger, and Judge all secured, the Yankees' attention has started to shift toward potential external reinforcements. Reports suggest that the team is actively exploring right-handed outfield options to bolster depth, indicating that Dominguez's days as a guaranteed starter could be limited. This doesn't mean his talent is gone. Far from it. At 23, Dominguez has already demonstrated offensive potential, posting a respectable walk rate and flashes of power. However, his defensive struggles, particularly in center field, have raised concerns about whether he can maintain the level of play needed for a consistent starting role. This situation highlights the reality of Major League Baseball. Even promising young talent can find themselves navigating uncertain waters if the roster shifts around them. Dominguez may still have a future with the Yankees, but if the team decides to explore trade possibilities, it would likely be to maximize his value while addressing other areas of need. The tricky part is balancing the excitement of his potential against the practicalities of fielding the strongest team possible. The Yankees front office has to consider whether trading a young player like Dominguez could bring in a key piece that elevates the roster, particularly as they aim to contend for a championship. This is a decision that will have long-term ramifications, and it shows just how intricate roster management can be at this level. Meanwhile, the rest of the offseason strategy has focused on maintaining a competitive edge across the board. Securing Giesam and Bellinger was just the beginning. The team's approach has involved a careful assessment of free agents, potential trades, and internal development, all while keeping the championship goal front and center. With spring training approaching, the Yankees are in a position where every roster decision counts. Veteran presence, depth, and strategic flexibility are becoming as critical as the star power at the top of the lineup. Balancing all of these factors is a challenge that requires both a clear vision and the willingness to make bold moves when the opportunity arises. In addition to the internal considerations, the Yankees are closely monitoring the external market for right-handed hitting outfielders who could add balance to the bench. Veteran players, particularly those capable of providing power against left-handed pitching, are being evaluated. One name generating buzz is 34-year-old Randall Grittick, a player with a long track record of contributing offensively, but whose defensive abilities are mixed. His past performance has shown that he can offer meaningful production. The recent seasons indicate some inconsistencies, especially following mid-season trades. The Yankees are assessing whether a player like Grittick could serve as a valuable bench asset, providing flexibility while allowing the starters to maintain their rhythm and production throughout the long season. This ongoing evaluation underscores the strategic depth the Yankees are aiming for. It is not just about having stars in the lineup. It is about constructing a roster capable of weathering injuries, adjusting to matchups, and maintaining a high level of performance every day. The pursuit of experienced right-handed outfielders reflects an understanding that baseball is a game of matchups, and even one player can make a significant difference in key situations. The balance between youth and experience, potential and proven ability is central to the decisions being made in the front office. So, as the offseason continues to unfold, it becomes clear that the Yankees are meticulously building not only for the immediate season, but for sustained success. Trent Grisham's contract is a case study in savvy decision-making. The positioning of young players like Dominguez illustrates the challenges of talent management, and the exploration of veteran options such as Grittick shows a commitment to depth and strategic planning. All of these moves are interconnected, forming a complex but purposeful approach to building a championship-caliber team. With every decision, the Yankees are sending a message. This is a team intent on competing at the highest level, and no detail is too small when it comes to gaining an edge over the competition. Now, let's talk about the trade rumors that have been stirring up the Yankees universe. The biggest question hanging over the Bronx this offseason is Jasson Dominguez. Once considered the golden prospect, his path to regular playing time has become increasingly complicated with Gisham, Bellinger, and Judge firmly entrenched in the outfield. The conversation in the front office seems to have shifted. Does the Martian stay, or is it time to explore his value on the trade market? Teams across the league are always looking for young, high-upside talent, and Dominguez certainly fits that profile, even if his defensive struggles have tempered some of the initial hype. Reports suggest that the Yankees are weighing every option. Trading Dominguez could unlock the chance to acquire a top-tier piece in another position, potentially a frontline pitcher or a strong bat to balance the lineup. His offensive flashes in 2025 showed that he can be a productive major league player, with a walk rate that reflects his plate discipline and moments of power that hint at a future middle-of-the-order threat. The question becomes whether the Yankees are willing to risk losing that upside in order to strengthen areas that could push them from contenders to true championship favorites. At the same time, the front office appears cautious. Dominguez's value is not what it was when he was considered untouchable, but he is still just 23 years old. A smart trade now could yield significant returns while minimizing risk. The challenge lies in finding the right fit and ensuring that the Yankees are maximizing value without giving away a player who could develop into a cornerstone in the near future. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires foresight, timing, and a willingness to make bold decisions when the potential reward is high. Meanwhile, the team is exploring veteran options to complement its current roster and provide insurance against the uncertainties that come with injuries and performance fluctuations. Right-handed power is at a premium, and the Yankees are looking carefully at players who can slot in as fourth outfielders while still delivering meaningful contributions at the plate. The pursuit of someone like Randall Grittick is illustrative of this approach. At 34, he brings experience and a track record of offensive production, particularly against left-handed pitching. Even if his defense is inconsistent, the ability to swing a big bat in key situations adds a layer of strategic depth that could prove crucial over the long season. Spring training will be the ultimate proving ground for these decisions. Players like Dominguez will need to show that they can still compete at the highest level, while any new acquisitions will have to demonstrate that they can contribute immediately. The Yankees front office is clearly planning with the long game in mind, ensuring that every roster move is considered in the context of both immediate success and sustained competitiveness. This is a team not willing to rely solely on star power. They're meticulously assembling a roster where every player has a role, whether it is starting, providing depth, or stepping in at a critical moment. The dynamic between youth and veteran presence is fascinating. On one hand, you have Gizam, Bellinger, and Judge leading the charge and providing the explosive firepower that can change games. On the other, the presence of experienced hitters like Gerrit offers stability and situational flexibility that can be the difference in tight games or long stretches of the season. The challenge for Cashman and his staff is ensuring that this blend of talent works cohesively, maintaining chemistry while maximizing performance. Every decision, from trade talks to minor adjustments in spring training, will shape how this roster performs once the regular season begins. It is also worth considering how these moves reflect the broader strategy of the Yankees in 2026. The front office is clearly focused on sustaining competitiveness while managing payroll intelligently. Gisham's qualifying offer, Bellinger's long-term contract, and the exploration of additional outfield depth all point to a philosophy of balancing risk and reward. By keeping the core intact and supplementing with targeted acquisitions, the Yankees are aiming to create a roster capable of weathering challenges while remaining in contention. The ability to pivot, whether through trades, free agency, or player development, is central to this approach. Another layer to watch is how these moves impact the clubhouse. Bringing in veterans like Gerrit can influence team culture, provide mentorship for younger players, and maintain a competitive edge during long stretches of the season. Similarly, decisions about Dominguez's future will resonate with the rest of the roster. Balancing individual development with team priorities is a nuanced process, and the Yankees management must navigate it carefully to ensure that the team remains unified and focused on the championship goal. All of this builds toward the same ultimate objective, positioning the Yankees as legitimate World Series contenders. The offseason moves, the trade evaluations, the pursuit of veterans to strengthen the bench, and the careful management of young talent all feed into that goal. Baseball is as much about strategy off the field as it is about performance on it, and the Yankees' approach demonstrates an understanding of both. Every decision sends a signal, whether it is about the value of proven veterans, the potential of young stars, or the importance of roster balance and flexibility. Looking at the bigger picture, it is clear that the Yankees are constructing a team with multiple layers of strength. The star outfielders provide headline power and immediate impact, while the potential trades and bench additions ensure depth and adaptability. This multifaceted strategy allows the team to adjust to unforeseen challenges, whether as injuries, slumps, or shifts in the competitive landscape. The ultimate goal is not only to win games in the short term, but to establish a sustainable model for success that keeps the Yankees competitive year after year. The narrative surrounding Dominguez, Gizam, Bellinger, and potential veterans like Gerrit is more than just a series of roster moves. It reflects a larger philosophy. The Yankees are blending analytics, player evaluation, and strategic foresight to build a roster capable of contending at the highest level. Every decision, from contracts to potential trades, is part of a cohesive plan aimed at maximizing the team's championship potential. As fans, we get to watch not only the action on the field, but the strategic maneuvering behind the scenes, which can be just as compelling and impactful. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Spring training for the New York Yankees, usually a time for fine-tuning strategies and preparing the team for the season, has been shaken by an incident that could spark turbulence in the clubhouse. According to sources close to the team, Gerrit Cole, the ace pitcher, had a fiery moment during a recent practice that reportedly left teammates and coaching staff stunned. Rumors suggest that Cole openly ignored instructions from manager Boone, making on-field decisions without waiting for approval from the coaching staff. "Let me handle this," he allegedly declared at one point, a statement described as tense and uncharacteristic for the team. The remark reportedly echoed in the dugout, hinting that Boone's authority was challenged, at least momentarily, in front of the entire roster. The rest of the team reacted in different ways. While some players tried to stay out of it, others reportedly expressed concern that this kind of behavior could affect team chemistry. Sports analysts are speculating that, even though it happened during spring training, the episode could indicate that Cole is trying to assert a more dominant role in the clubhouse, raising questions about how Boone and management will handle the situation. Sources close to Yankees management say no drastic decisions have been made, but the incident has been noted and is expected to be part of internal discussions. Some analysts suggest the tension could even influence future negotiations or strategic decisions, while others warn that, if not managed carefully, it could impact the team's performance during the season. One thing is clear. Gerrit Cole, known for his intensity and competitiveness, has made it evident that he won't passively follow instructions if he believes he can improve the situation himself. This raises a burning question among fans and experts alike. Is this just a display of a passionate player's character, or is it an early sign of an internal crisis that could define the Yankees season? For now, the organization remains silent, but the atmosphere and training hints that the coming days could be decisive for the relationship between the star pitcher and the team's leadership. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.